Your brain is actively working against your bank account right now, and it's not a metaphor. There's a specific set of wiring in your head that was built to keep your great-great-great-grandparents alive on a savanna. And that same wiring is the reason you dropped $40 on DoorDash last night when there was perfectly good food in the fridge. Not because you're weak, not because you lack discipline, because your brain is running software that's about 200,000 years out of date, and nobody ever told you that the game was rigged before you sat down to play it. I spent most of my 20s thinking I was just bad with money, like it was a character flaw. I'd look at my checking account on a Sunday night, see it sitting at $90 4 days before payday, and feel that hot little wave of shame. And the whole time, I had no idea that almost every dollar that leaked out of my account left through a door my own brain held open for it. So today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how your brain tricks you into spending more than you earn, the actual mechanisms, the specific glitches, and more importantly, how to close each door once you can finally see it. Quick thing before we get into it. This channel is for people who are smart enough to earn good money, but were never handed the system to actually keep it. If that's you, if you've ever made decent money and still wondered where all of it went, hit subscribe. That's the whole channel. No hustle harder nonsense. Just the systems nobody taught you. Okay, so here's the first glitch, and it's the big one. Your brain does not feel money the way it feels money spent. Those are two completely different experiences in your head, and they don't happen at the same time. When you buy something, the good feeling hits instantly. The dopamine, the little hit of yes. But the pain of paying? That gets delayed, softened, sometimes erased completely. And the entire modern payment system was designed, actually designed by people much smarter than you and me, to widen that gap as far as humanly possible. Think about the last time you actually felt money leave your hands. Real cash. Peeling off a 20 and watching it go. For most people in their late 20s and 30s, that basically doesn't happen anymore. You tap your phone. You've got your card saved on Amazon. DoorDash already has your info, so ordering at 11 at night is 3 taps and a thumbprint. Your brain never registers the loss because there's no moment of pain. There's no $20 physically leaving. There's just food showing up at your door like magic, and a number quietly shrinking somewhere you're not looking. This is why studies have found people spend somewhere around 12 to 18% more when they pay with a card versus cash. Same person, same store, same stuff, just more of it, because the brake pedal got disconnected. And tap to pay and one-click checkout? They took that same effect and put it on steroids. You're not spending more because you got weaker. You're spending more because they engineered the friction out of the transaction on purpose. So here's the first door you can close, and you can do it tonight. Go into your phone right now and delete your saved card info from the 2 apps you use most. Amazon and whatever food app is your weakness. Don't cancel anything, don't go on some spending fast. Just make yourself type the card number in every single time. Sounds almost too small to matter, right? But that's the point. You're not fighting your willpower, you'd lose that fight. Everybody loses that fight. You're just putting the friction back. You're rebuilding the tiny moment of pain your brain needs to actually feel the money leaving. I did this about 2 years ago, and my Amazon spending dropped by almost half in a month. Not because I decided to be disciplined, because half the stuff I used to buy, I only wanted for the 30 seconds it took to click buy now. When I had to go find my wallet and type 16 digits, that 30-second craving was already gone by the time I got to the card. Turns out I didn't want the thing. I wanted the click. Now here's the second trick, and this one's sneaky because it feels like the responsible version of you talking. It's called mental accounting, and your brain does it constantly without asking permission. Your brain files money into little imaginary envelopes based on where it came from. $1 you earned at work feels heavy and serious. $1 from a tax refund, a birthday, a Venmo request that finally came through, a side gig that hit. That money feels like it lives in a different, funner envelope. Play money. Even though it's the exact same dollar and it spends exactly the same. This is why a tax refund that took you a whole year to overpay gets blown on a weekend trip, but you'd never touch your paycheck for that same trip. Your brain tagged one as earned and one as found, and found money burns a hole in your pocket in a way earned money never does. It's the same reason casinos hand you chips instead of cash. The second it stops looking like your money, you'll bet way more of it. Here's where it hits your actual life. That side hustle money, the DoorDash driving, the freelance invoice, the stuff you sell on Facebook Marketplace. If you're a freelancer or you've got irregular income, this is quietly wrecking you, and I'll bet you didn't know it had a name. Because that money lands in a different envelope in your head. It feels like a bonus, so it gets spent like a bonus, even when it's actually a huge chunk of what you live on. Freelancers do this constantly. A $2,000 invoice hits and it feels like Christmas, so 500 of it evaporates on stuff you'd never buy from your real money, and then rent week shows up and the math ain't mathing. The fix is boring, and it works. Every dollar goes into one pool, one checking account, one place. You don't get to feel where it came from. $1 from a client invoice and $1 from your day job are the same soldier in the same army, and they answer to the same budget. The second you let money keep its origin story, your brain will spend it according to that story instead of according to your actual life. All right, take a breath. We're going to do the two biggest ones next, and these are the ones that really move the needle. Trick number 3, your brain is terrible, genuinely, hilariously terrible, at understanding small recurring amounts. It evolved to think in single events, one hunt, one meal, one threat. It did not evolve to multiply $4.99 times 12 months times you forgot you were even paying for this. So when you see a subscription for $9.99 a month, your brain files it under basically free. $10, who cares? But your brain never does the thing where it goes, that's $120 a year, and I've been paying it for 2 years, so I've spent $240 on an app I opened twice. It literally cannot feel that number. The monthly framing was chosen specifically because it defeats the part of your brain that would otherwise object. Go pull up your subscriptions right now. iPhone has it under your account settings, Android's got its own spot. And I want you to actually add them up as a yearly number, not monthly. Most people I've walked through this find somewhere between $40 and $80 a month in stuff they either forgot about or barely use. Call it $60. That's over $700 a year. That streaming service you kept for the one show. The subscribe and save on something you now buy at Costco anyway. The $14.99 thing you signed up for a free trial of back in March and never touched again. I found a meditation app on mine I'd been paying for 14 months. Used it twice. Ironically, finding it was the least calm I'd felt all year. $80-something, gone. To an app whose entire job was to help me stop stressing about stuff like $80-something. Cancel 3 things right now. Not the ones you agonize over, the 3 that are obviously dead. You just gave yourself a raise, and you didn't have to earn a dime more to do it. Okay, trick number 4, and this is the heavyweight. This is the one running underneath all the others. It's called present bias, and it is the single biggest reason smart people stay broke. Your brain values right now you enormously more than future you. And I don't mean a little more. I mean future you barely registers as a real person. Brain scans have actually shown this. When you think about yourself in the future, your brain lights up almost the same way it does when you think about a total stranger. Sit with that for a second because it explains almost everything. Saving money is literally you being asked to take something from someone who feels real and urgent, you, right now, who wants the thing, and hand it to someone who feels like a stranger. That's future you. No wonder it feels bad. No wonder just save more never works. You're asking present you to do a favor for somebody your brain doesn't even fully believe exists yet. This is where I want you to like this video. If any of this is landing, it genuinely helps it reach the next person who's sitting there at 11 at night wondering why they can't get ahead. And if someone came to mind while I was talking, somebody who's smart and works hard and still can't figure out where the money goes, send it to them. You don't have to say anything. They'll get it. So here's why present bias is so brutal for our specific situation. If you've got irregular income, present you is dealing with real uncertainty. You genuinely don't know what next month looks like. So your brain, trying to protect you, doubles down on the now. I'll save when things are stable. But things are never stable, so the saving never starts, and future you keeps getting stiffed by a present you who's just trying to feel okay for one night. And the system knows this about you. Buy now, pay later. The Klarna, the Affirm buttons, that's present bias weaponized. 4 easy payments. It slices the pain into pieces so small, your brain files each one under basically free. Same trick as the subscription, and now present you gets the whole reward while future you eats the whole bill. The fix here isn't discipline. It's making future you real enough that your brain starts to care about him. And the way you do that is you take the decision away from present you completely. You automate. Here's the move. The day your paycheck hits, or for the freelancers, the day any money hits, a set amount moves automatically into a separate savings account you don't see. Not whatever's left at the end of the month, because there's never anything left, that's the whole point. It comes out first, before present you gets his hands on it. Open a high-yield savings account at somewhere like Ally or Marcus or Capital One 360, separate bank from your checking, on purpose, so it's a little annoying to pull the money back. Right now, those are paying around 4% annual yield, while your regular checking pays you basically nothing. Set the auto transfer for the day after payday. Start stupidly small if you have to. $25. The number matters way less than the fact that present you never gets a vote anymore. When I finally set this up, the amount was almost embarrassing. $50 a paycheck. I remember thinking it was so small it was basically pointless. But 8 months later, there was money in there I had genuinely never missed, because it left before I ever saw it. And that was the first time in my adult life that future me stopped being a stranger and started being a guy I was actually looking out for. That's the whole trick, by the way. You're not becoming more disciplined. You're removing the moments where discipline gets tested. Every automated transfer is one less decision your out-of-date brain gets to sabotage. It's kind of freeing, honestly. You get to stop white-knuckling every purchase and let the system carry the weight for you. Now here's the reframe I really want you to walk away with, because it changes everything about how you see the last 4 tricks. Every single one of these, the invisible tap to pay, the play money envelopes, the tiny monthly charges, the stranger who is future you, none of them are moral failings. That's the whole point. You've probably spent years thinking your money problems were a discipline problem, a character problem, a something's wrong with me problem. And that story keeps you stuck because you can't fix a wiring problem with shame. You just feel bad and then order the DoorDash anyway to feel better about feeling bad. The truth is way more freeing than that. You're a person with a normal, standard-issue human brain running in an environment specifically engineered by very smart people to exploit exactly how that brain works. The apps, the one-click, the monthly pricing, the 4 easy payments, those aren't accidents. Somebody built those to beat your wiring. You losing to them wasn't stupidity. It was the design working exactly as intended. And the second you see it that way, the game changes. You stop trying to win with willpower, which is a fight you were always going to lose, and you start doing what actually works. You change the environment instead of trying to change yourself. You don't resist the saved card. You delete it. You don't resist the play money feeling. You dump every dollar into one pool so it can't happen. You don't resist the subscriptions. You cancel them once so you never have to fight them again. You don't resist the urge to spend before you save. You automate the saving so the urge never gets a turn. Every fix is the same shape. Take the decision away from the version of you that your brain hijacks and hand it to the version that already knows better. That's the difference between people who feel broke on $65,000 a year and people who feel steady on the same money. It was never about the willpower. It was about who designed the environment they were spending in, them or somebody selling to them. So here's what to actually do, tonight, in the next 20 minutes. Delete your saved card from your 2 most used apps so you have to type it every time. Move all your income into one account so no dollar gets to feel like play money. Add up your subscriptions as a yearly number and cancel 3 that are obviously dead. And set 1 automatic transfer, even $25, to a separate high-yield account the day after you get paid. That's it. 4 moves. Not one of them requires you to be more disciplined tomorrow than you were today, which is exactly why they work. You're not fixing yourself. There was never anything to fix. You're just taking the doors your brain kept holding open and quietly closing them one at a time. Your brain's going to keep running that 200,000-year-old software for the rest of your life. You can't patch it. But now you can see it working, and you can build a life around it instead of losing to it every single night at 11 o'clock with your thumb hovering over the checkout button. If this clicked for you, go watch the one I did on the 7 money traps that keep smart people broke. It's the perfect next piece because it shows you where this wiring shows up in the wild. And do me a favor in the comments. Tell me which of these 4 your brain pulls on you the hardest. Be honest. I already told you mine was the meditation app. Your turn.